The mighty has fallen. Even the Bible said, when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people cry and mourn, gnash their teeth in pains and agony. That is a typical example of what you are about to watch. A lot of people that are not my color has really talked down on people of my color. They think that they can really stand. They think that they can really progress without people of my color. But will I call this instant karma? Or I will call this the rise and fall of a great nation? In today's video, let's dive in and explore more. Do not comment until you are done watching this video. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches used in today's episode. And this video is just for educational purposes. I stand a chance to be corrected, so feel free to correct me in the comment section. And yes, with that being said, let's dive right into this video.
The French Prime Minister the other day openly confessed on open camera that the economy of France is in a total decline. We said it here, and some people said, oh, we are mocking at France. The truth is that country is at the verge of collapsing. He openly said that France's debt is at outstanding level. France right now, as we speak, has a debt of 3.3 trillion. That is what France has right now as we speak in terms of debt. And just from 2024 to 2025, they have had a debt of over 2 trillion. As you can listen to their prime minister.
Notre pays est en danger parce que nous sommes au risque du surendettement. Notre pays est en danger parce que nous sommes au bord du surendettement.
Now, when you read online, when you watch TV, when you see what is going on in France, they are trying very hard to cover everything politically. They don't want people to have the impression where the major source of their downfall is coming from. And I'm going to tell you right here, and I know so many people know why they are collapsing. The other time they said, oh, their nuclear reactors got shut down because of what? Because of jellyfish, because of blah, 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 right? But the question is, it's been over so many weeks. Why is it that all the nuclear reactors are not reinstated? So here is the thing, whether they like it or not, we are going to speak the truth. The truth is, France, for so many decades, has depended mostly on Africa. The natural resources of all French-speaking countries were controlled by France. The second thing is 50% of their revenues were deposited in the French treasury and was never returned back. If they had to go get it, it would be a borrow. They would have to pay huge sums of interest on their own money that they deposited at French treasuries. So that is how France has been ripping Africa, especially French-speaking African countries, off. You know, capitalizing on their resources, capitalizing on their source of income, making sure that their country becomes treasury for French-speaking African countries. And that has completely crushed French-speaking African countries and made France a giant in Europe. And lately, we have been seeing what's going on. Before we start talking about the analysis, listen to what a former French president, Jacques Chirac, openly said. Take a listen.
oublie seulement une chose, c'est qu'une grande partie de l'argent qui est dans notre porte-monnaie vient précisément de l'exploitation depuis des siècles de l'Afrique. Pas uniquement, mais beaucoup viennent de l'exploitation de l'Afrique. Alors, il faut avoir un petit peu de bon sens, je ne dis pas de générosité, de bon sens, de justice, pour rendre aux Africains, je dirais, ce qu'on leur a pris, d'autant que c'est nécessaire si l'on veut éviter les pires convulsions ou difficultés avec les conséquences politiques que ça comporte.
Former French president saying that most of the resources of France came from Africa, and that if France did not do Africans some good, if they did not have some, some conscience to in return treat these countries with some love, show some goodness to these countries, a time is going to come that things would turn the table around. And that is exactly what is happening. The Sahel, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, they have completely cut France off. Not even their airplanes are landing in the Sahel. No more uranium, no more gold, no more depositing their monies in French treasuries. Nothing, completely cut off, right? Chad has also cut France off. Central Africa has diverted their attention, even though they have not cut France off completely, but they have diverted their attention to Russia. Senegal is revising contracts with France, right? It's not going to be business as usual. Like it or not, even if they're still, being influenced by France, a lot of things in Senegal are changing, right? Because of the way things are going on, the trend, the pressure from the youth, the pressure from all of us, things are changing, whether they like it or not. Gabon, the same thing. Gabon is revising the way they used to do business with former colonizers, all right? They are revising everything. So you can see that a lot is going on in Africa, and it's not business as usual anymore. So even though France does not want to openly say that their downfall is because Africa is gradually cutting them off, we know exactly what is going on. And so kudos to all those African leaders who are taking measures to make sure that they assert their sovereignty, because African sovereignty is the decline of Europe. That is just the reality, especially France, because France had a tight grip on African resources, and things are changing. So I am not the one saying it. It came from the mouth of their prime minister, and it came from the mouth of their former president. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Drop your comments respectfully, and if you are watching me, you've not followed me yet, do well to follow me, because here we say it as it is. We don't compromise it. We put it to you just as it is. Share this video to as many as possible. Let us reawaken all consciousness, be it in Africa and in the diaspora.
Take a look at this. So, Air France are now begging Africans to patronize them. So, they have lost $65 million after being chased by Sahel countries, that is Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And they are now begging Africans, please patronize us. Please patronize us. Even if we don't have to relate as countries, let's do business. Let's do business. Come on. Really? In my last video, I said that France is broke. I said that France is becoming broke. Many people didn't believe what I said, but a lot of people agreed. Now, I want you to watch this. Do you know that France makes about $500 billion out of Africa every year? And this video confirms it. Watch it.
Is it true most of France's financial wealth right now is still built on
$500 billion a year
from Africa?
from Africa.
Wow.
500. That's a lot.
And
of
is
money.
it true?
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Now, you see, France, that's why France is doing everything so that they can retain their position in Africa. They have been sponsoring a lot of propaganda, sponsoring a lot of, like, trying to please, trying to do everything to remain in Africa because they know how much they are making. They know how much they are making. Anybody that is against Burkina Faso, against Mali, in fact, against all the Sahel countries for chasing away France, I don't know what is wrong with them in their head, especially Africans. Because I've seen a lot of video, even one old man that has been criticizing Burkina Faso back and front. I don't even understand it. You know, they say wisdom doesn't come with old age. To be honest, some people can be foolish from the beginning to the end. Just look at this. France, almighty France, that's always maltreating Africa. I can remember vividly, was it 2004 or 2014, that Nigeria threatens to ban Air France from coming to Nigeria because of the way they were treating Nigerians and other black people. That was I think 2014. And Nigeria, they banned it. They banned Air France then. They banned Air France. If you can check it, it's online. Nigeria banned Air France then. Now, when I said that, last time I said that they are broke because Chad and Senegal chased them away, but they didn't react. They never react. They are even broke to maintain their air base because normally they're supposed to, like, you know, Macron supposed to, like, make a speech condemning what Senegal did and what Chad did, but he never came out to make any speech, right? It's now time for them to negotiate very well, for them to do business with Africa. They're not begging Africans. You see? Power. Power. Nobody has the monopoly of power. It can be yours today. Remember, tomorrow it can be the next person. So I would love to know what you think in the comment section. See you in the next video.
What a time to be alive. If only you knew how powerful you were as a black person, they will not only respect you, they'll also bow at your feet. They are already afraid of you. That is why they're doing everything they can to make sure you don't recognize your power. The saga continues. France's downfall does not need to be studied because it's as easy as ABC. They are broke. They have fired their third prime minister within 1 year. Look at this photo. No matter how many prime ministers you fire, you will not be able to dig yourself out of this because you're poor, you're broke. Without Africa, you're nothing.
So France is broke because African countries have kicked them out and they don't allow them to exploit them anymore. And as you saw, there's a big rally in the country. They're protesting the president, Macron. They want him out. Yesterday they voted out the prime minister, which was the third prime minister in 14 months. He got a vote of no confidence. The same last three, because the last three prime ministers cannot present a bill or cannot present a plan on how to revitalize the French economy. Now, the only way to present a plan to revitalize the French economy is by re-enslaving or re-exploiting African countries. And Russia is helping African countries. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, they're building nuclear plants. Like, it's helping African countries. That's Russia's plan of fucking up the West. So the West is using a proxy war to destroy Russia. Russia is deciding, okay, I'm going to take away your means of living. So Russia has been saving African countries from France. And they have a planned demonstration tomorrow, the 10th. Wednesday, the whole nation is going to have this massive demonstration tomorrow in protest of Macron. But yeah, France is broke. And everything they're doing right now, a lot of the French understand it, but majority of the masses don't. Everything they're doing right now, nothing can be done. The only way France goes back to where it used to be is to find new countries to exploit for resources. That's it. France has nothing. They have nothing. England is next. Oh, I also forgot to add, this is why France has been pushing for a war with Russia. France has gotten 26 countries right now to agree to to go into Ukraine, which is going to be a violation, which will force a war with Russia. The reason France wants this is if it does that, then Russia is now faced with more problems, more wars. Then it takes away some of its resources from Africa. It creates new chaos, and then France uses that as an opportunity to go back into Africa and then find new countries to exploit. The only way France can survive is exploitation. So they need war right now to make that exploitation happen.
France is in big, big trouble. You better believe it, France is in big, big trouble because now the government has collapsed because the Prime Minister has been ousted. And the reason the Prime Minister has been ousted is because France has run out of money. France, the economic system is literally collapsing and they have run out of money. And nobody wants to take the job because this is a fourth Prime Minister under Emmanuel Macron to leave because they cannot do a single thing about it. They cannot tell the people in France that the country has run out of money. So listen, Africans have the power and they don't think they do. You do have the power because ever since Emmanuel Macron and his government was sent packing out of Mali, Burkina Faso, Senegal, and the Western part, and Chad, I can't even think now. Ever since France was kicked out of the western part of Africa, the problems have just mounted. And now the French government has collapsed. Emmanuel Macron says that he will carry on governing, but the country has literally got no money.
France is broke, and they're expecting their people to work more in order to pay for it. France is drowning in debt, now at a staggering 3.3 trillion euros, with an annual interest payments of 60 billion euros. And their solution? Well, the Prime Minister just announced a new austerity plan to bring the deficit down from 5.8 to 3% of GDP by 2029. And the flagship move to do this? Cancelling public holidays, namely Easter Monday and Victory Day in Europe. Clearly not important, and this should generate roughly 4.2 to 4.5 billion in extra revenue by making people work more. On top of that, they're freezing pensions, cutting healthcare by 5 billion euros, and slashing public sector pay and jobs. Because taking away holidays, taking away pay, and cutting access to critical services is always a good way to keep French people from rioting. And yes, the backlash has already been intense. Unions say this is a real provocation against workers, and both the left and the right are threatening no confidence votes. And half the country thinks this is an assault on French cultural identity and hard-earned rest, while the bureaucrats in palaces, like those at the Economic, Social and Environmental Council, enjoy $121,000 salaries, 54 days off, lavish perks, while taxpayers foot the bill, roughly 45 million euros per year. So apparently France isn't suffering from a revenue shortage, it's suffering from bureaucratic bloat and a budget built more on perks than on productivity. But what do you think? Is France overdue a reality check, or is this a step too far? French people, I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
France is on fire. Riots, looting, chaos. Europeans just lost their good life. In just one day, over 250,000 people flooded the streets, burning cars, looting luxury stores, even Paris cafes and historic buildings set on fire. France looks less like a modern state, more like a scene from a dystopian movie. Why? The government plans to cut 43.8 billion euros in spending. For many French, welfare is like air and water, untouchable. But here's the truth. France is broke. That is 116% of GDP, and welfare costs already swallow more than all tax revenue. They've been borrowing just to keep benefits alive. Sound familiar? That's exactly how Greece triggered the Eurozone crisis in 2010. Back then, Europe could still bail them out. But today, Europe has lost industry to the other countries. Left no money, no new tech, and now no stability. France is burning, Europe is drawing in debt. The bomb is ticking. But who's left to save them this time? Stay safe, stay connected. Get yourself a VPN in my bio and comments.
So we have some major news. There is a big problem going on in France. You won't believe that France's debt is growing very, very large. And France is facing one of the biggest debt crises in the world. France has a debt of 3.3 trillion euros, and this debt is increasing by every second. And you won't believe that France did not have a stable economy because it was depending on African nations which it had colonized, which were using their currency. Now, because so many African nations are chasing out France, France is just about to ask IMF to intervene and help them repay their debt so that they can have their economy back. You won't believe that the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, is now coming back to Africa to try and soothe them to see if they can return to Africa so that they can manage their economy. And because they were heavily depending on the African nations, they were not hardworking. And even the work ethic in France, you won't believe, was so poor that in a week, they were only working for only 4 days. And this is what Putin said. If France leaves Africa, in just 5 years, it is going to be a third world country. And that is just about to happen.
Breaking news, France is broke. Do you remember when Vladimir Putin said that France needs Africa? Without Africa, France will go broke. Well, those words have come true. France is in a $3.6 trillion debt. That is crazy, but it does not stop there. With every second, the debt grows by $6,000. That is crazy. It seems without Africans' resources, they all go broke and they need us. That's why they have been sending representatives to Africa to beg, let us come back. Well, Africans are saying no, we don't want you here. Do you remember when Macron went on television and he said that Africa needs us? Africa should be thanking us, which is just crazy. Well, right now, he sees the repercussions. He sees we are not playing around. We have woken up. This news is coming right after they have just handed back their last military base in Senegal. So right now, as I speak, France does not have any military base in Senegal and they don't have any military personnel over there. So this is just crazy. So after being kicked out of West Africa and realizing that Russia is actually helping West Africa, they have decided to go to a weaker country. They have decided to go and steal the resources from a weaker country. And guess which country? That is Madagascar. Yes, they are stealing the islands of Madagascar. So guys, let me know what you think about all this.
This is a typical example of the mighty Iroko has fallen. And where do we begin from? We just want to thank this Almighty God for making a lot of things exposed to the air. The same people that used their mouth to say we are not important, the same people that said to hell with them, we can do without them, they are now coming to beg. Because why? When the mighty falls, the smaller mountains will rise. Guys, are you seeing the logic? Are you seeing it? You rely on Africa. No wonder they were up and down with Ibrahim Traoré. No wonder they wanted that man not to do what he's doing right now. You can see that any society that forsake the efforts of Black people, when the heat will come, it will be so hot that even AC in 3 places, including fan and other things, cannot control. When we keep saying Black people build a lot of nation, you people still keep arguing it. Now, why can't they survive? In one of the clips that I played for you guys, they are begging for people to actually start using their airline. In another clip that I played for you guys, they are owing debt of over how many billions or trillions? A country that we were thinking is above us. Black people, I keep telling you guys that we have power. Like, we got the power. We got the... We have the power, except we do not want to explore, except we do not want to show, except we just want to have mercy on whom we want to have mercy on. Now France is crying. Now what happened? What really? Why can't they just stand? There was even one of the clip I played that said most of the currency that 45 countries are using, France were the one printing currency for those countries. But now, these countries are now saying, no, we want to start printing our currency. We want to stand. We don't need you in our life. Go on your own. Let's stay on our own. You can see now that people are protesting. They are protesting. We want the prime minister to go down. We want the president to, we want this one to go. We want that one to go. Why? Because things is not working. Even the Bible made it clear that when the righteous rule, everybody rejoice. But when the wicked rule, everybody will cry. The mighty has fallen. Ah, are you serious? France. I'm surprised, but I'm not shocked. Yes, because I've expected this for a long time. If you think that you can talk down on the power of people of my color, and you think that Omachala will not do you something, you're playing. Don't play. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. I want to hear your opinion. I want to hear your take on this. And oh my God, I'm feeling for France so that a lot of people will not be like, I don't have conscience. I'm feeling for them. Oh my God. France is collapsing. I'm feeling for them. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. This is just for educational purposes. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches we use in our today's episode. And yes, with no further ado, I do like I always say in my videos, I'm going to be Simba, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you. Mwah.